Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Invincible. This time we're on episode 3 of season 1. Been a great story so far. We've been introduced to all of the Nolans, not Dick, all of the Graysons even, and not Dick Grayson. That's a completely different universe. No, Mark Grayson, who is the title character Invincible, and his dad, Nolan, who is Omni-Man, and then the wonderful mother, the wonderful kind of all-knowing, all-tolerating mother, Debbie. So we've met them, and the power base and the history and who they are has been pretty well established at this point. But yeah, so last time we were introduced to a new team. We lost one team, the Guardians of the Globe, in the first one, almost. Well, not straight away, but right at the very end, we lost all of them in one fell swoop. And then episode 2 took the time to introduce a team not only of superheroes, but also superheroes more age appropriate to Mark himself, and for him to actually kind of familiarize himself with them and actually integrate into the idea of being a part of a team and everything. So I believe that is the teen team. I believe that could be the teen team. I think they mentioned other teams like the Lizard League and the teen team, but I don't know if they actually specified that they themselves were the teen team. But either way, we met Atom Eve, who seems to be somewhat of more of a at least like one of the leaders, if not the main leader, or at least like one of the more kind of upfront members of the team. And then her boyfriend Explode. He seems. I think him being voiced by Jason Mantzoukas makes him by default somewhat more of like a comedic kind of like a comedic counterpart to her, like him being like the more snarky and sarcastic kind of member of the team. But he can literally just throw discs and coins that actually explode, so that's his power. And then Atom Eve has Atom Eve seems like like the Scarlet Witch of the kind of team. Like she has like hexes and energy blasts and beams and shields and all sorts of stuff. So she's super cool. And we have Robot, who I can't remember who he was voiced by, but very, very familiar. I think very familiar. Not, I think I think he is definitely one of those characters who was actually very familiar. But he I can't remember who. I can't for the life of me remember who it was. But I think Richard Ayoade comes to mind. I don't know why. I can't remember if it actually was Richard in the actual episode, or if I'm thinking of some other place. I think Richard Ayoade actually did one of the droids in Mandalorian. I think that could be what I'm thinking of. I think it's a similar-ish kind of vibe I get from Robot when he was talking in the last episode. So I guess going back into it, if we see them again, then I'll be kind of refamiliarized with that. But we have Robot, and then we have Duplicate as well, who literally just clones herself. And I think like some of the shots and some of the sequences, like some of the fight sequences with her were really cool. Like the Flaxons continually blasting like energy blasts, and Duplicate just rapidly multiplying as each of her clones start to die off. So I think the visuals in the show, like even besides from the gore of Omni-Man killing, like the visuals just in general are just really, really well done. And it's like it very much has the vibe of The Boys, but like an animated show. So I think in terms of tone and theme, and especially like the animation style and like the visualization, it definitely kind of has like a Boys but animated kind of style to it. So, and we have all the more seasons of The Boys coming out. We have 2 more seasons of Invincible kind of confirmed. So Amazon is killing it with like more mature kind of adult superhero shows coming up on the horizon. So yeah, we had the team, and then at the very end, Nolan's like kind of came along, and he kind of proved himself to be the key in defeating the Flaxons. He flew through the portal to their home planet and then nuked the crap out of it. He decimated the leader and then dropped rocks and bombs and all sorts of stuff on the actual on the planet. And then I think he flew so fast that the aftermath was the city, like the cities and like the planet itself actually being ripped apart by the whiplash or whatever. But he essentially nuked it. He essentially just rid whatever dimension they came from of the Flaxons and their kind of territory. So he proved himself to be an incredibly capable hero, and super being in general. So that was Nolan. And speaking of Nolan, Damien Darkblood was continuing. We were introduced to Damien Darkblood, the detective, the demon detective, and we were introduced to the I forgot to write that bit down. We were introduced to, I think they have like an organization that's like Shield. They work with other heroes, and especially with Omni-Man. They're especially fond of working with Omni-Man. I'm pretty sure I wrote it down in the previous reaction. I must have. I can't remember. I can't imagine not having written it down. If I can just find it, like the GRA, the global, no, the GDA maybe, the Global Defense something, like basically a shield but for Invincible. Yeah, the GDA, the Global Defense Agency. So they work with like superheroes of the world to actually to essentially be like a shield, like a first line defense against threats. And we had Donald, who looked like a Coulson, who looked like a kind of bald, semi-balding, like not semi-balding, but like a guy with some, you know, Coulson style hair and a suit and glasses and everything. So he was like the second in command. And then we had the Nick Fury of the team, the Nick Fury of the GDA, who was Cecil, like an older, definitely balding kind of guy, who had the ability to teleport. I don't know if that's technology or if he actually has powers, but he can like teleport back and forth between wherever he chooses. So he is also working in direct conjunction with Damien Darkblood, and Damien revealed that he could not see. He could see exactly how they died, like the head crushing and all the other stuff. He could see what was killing them, but not who was killing them. So the actual figure was kind of blurry and smudged out, so he couldn't tell directly that it was Omni-Man. So why that is, I'm not quite sure yet. Like if it's actually Omni-Man, if it's that basically maybe whoever truly killed them was who was actually like controlling Omni-Man, because Omni-Man even actually told Cecil the story about how he remembered like actually following the beacon to the Guardians' lair, but then being knocked out, and then when he came to, he was lying in a pool of blood, and the Guardians were dead all around him. So, if that is true, then I don't know. Like, or maybe he's powerful enough to be able to actually camouflage himself from Damien's kind of sight, which even then like he's a superhero, but then he's an alien. He's an alien, but then Damien is a demon. So I think those kinds of species intersectionality might be like more powerful than we imagine. So maybe he actually does have the power to mask himself against beings from other dimensions as a whole. Like if he's a demon detective, then he's from hell. So I don't know, but either way, we had the GDA, so they work pretty much with most known superheroes and superhero teams, so they are kind of, on high alert for any alien threats, and they're also now in deep investigation into who killed the Guardians, so that should be an interesting story to unlock. But yeah, and we also had a bit of like an outburst from Invincible during the final fight. Like he actually saw the team in grave danger, and he saw that Atom Eve about to be killed by the main Flaxen, and he just did one almighty outburst of like strength, and he broke free of his own restraints, and then blew the Flaxens back. So like a lot happened basically. Like a lot happened that my ramblings, I'm sure at this point, have very, very efficiently covered. So a lot happened, and a lot more is about to happen. We're only 2 episodes, or at least I'm only 2 episodes in. So a lot more is about to happen, and I can't wait to see exactly how the story unfolds. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've picked up from episode 2. So on to episode 3, or the reaction for episode 3 rather. And as you guys all know, the reactions for the channel itself, for YouTube anyway, are just like, shorter. They're just covering the highlights and the best bits of the episode and stuff. But if you guys want to watch more reactions that don't make it into this cut, then those reactions will be in the full-length version, where you can watch the entire episode unedited along with me. And that one will be those ones will be over on Patreon. The links will be in the description and or the kind of the comment section, so you can check that out over there. So that'll be cool too. But yeah, on to Invincible season 1, episode 3. Let's go. Wait, is that One Punch Man? That can't be One Punch Man. That looked like One Punch Man for a second.
Defeated nightmares from the deep, gone toe to toe with ancient gods.
God.
No matter what threat I faced, I knew I wasn't facing it alone.
The big one's for show, but the public can't know where the actual bodies are buried.
Ah, so there's a deeper funeral. Yeah, shit. People do that? Well, there are Tomb Raiders, so I'm not surprised.
Get your hands off me!
No, who is she?
Please,
Olga.
You wouldn't even let me see him.
Oh, Olga, Red Rush.
Finally standing still, and I still can't see him!
Oh, Red Rush's fiance. Oh. They were on a date. They were on a lunch date. Yeah.
If this could happen to the Guardians of the Globe, it means that none of us are...
Invincible. None of you are invincible. Oh, even more blood. Even more blood. As the intro goes by, just even more blood added. By the end, it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be all red. Nothing blue. Nothing yellow. Just completely red.
Hey, we'll do some more training tomorrow, okay? Just you and me.
Tomorrow? That soon? You Batman, morning one day, training Robin the next.
Co-workers.
That's kind of creepy, I won't lie. You know.
God!
Oh, he was with multiple Kate.
I am such an idiot.
Oh
Rex
boy.
said you're dating Invincible now. Said that you guys talked about it.
It's true. What did you expect, huh?
It's not true.
So he jumped to conclusions and then he jumped to Kate, really?
They're not even the real Kate.
Oh,
We're all the real Kate.
he's an asshole to everyone, isn't he? He's just an asshole to everyone.
The best of the best.
Gonna need a lot more than Flexi Pex to defeat her, buddy. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh! Oh, there we go. There we go.
Not all of you will be up.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I think Eve's got a bit of steam to blow off.
No idea.
Those of you who
Rex,
are up to the
you
challenge
sneaky little
will
shit.
succeed not just but by the uniqueness of your tactics.
Oh, a hero with glasses. That is nice to see. Yeah, hero with glasses. Oh, she minimizes. Okay. Oh. Oh boy. Oh jeez. Okay.
Black Samson,
Black Samson.
Shrinking Ray,
Shrinking Ray.
Duplicate,
Duplicate.
Monster Girl.
Monster Girl.
Look at her. She's adorable. But isn't there like an age requirement for this ride?
I don't know, you're here. Isn't there a dick size requirement? For what? Your tiny dick? I mean, the way you've been strutting around here, you must be compensating for something. Whoa, is she gonna Hulk out? She's gonna Hulk out. She's freaking. Oh.
Okay, enough.
Oh, jeez. Oh, we punched her back into the original form.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Look,
shit.
I'm so sorry.
Maybe if you didn't lose your powers, you might have been there to help the Guardians on their last day. I don't know you yet, so I'm gonna assume that was a joke and I don't need to beat your ass until all you wanna do is call me Dad again.
I wanna say I recognize that voice too. That is just so intimidating and brooding.
I'll be in the gym.
Oh, jeez.
Me too.
Great first day, guys. Great first
I'll
day.
supervise.
No, you won't.
I can do whatever I like.
Fucking hate Rex. Fucking hate his ass.
Whenever I transform, I get younger. Part of
Oh.
the curse that gives me my
So it's like a
powers.
Benjamin Button thing, but
Look
in
it,
yeah,
I'm
yeah, like a
24
Benjamin
years
Button
old.
thing.
I
24.
used to go by Monster Woman, but it got too hard to explain, so the guys who are interested are either going through puberty or popping up on sex offender registries.
I understand what it's like.
How can you understand? You're a robot.
You see? Is there a secret to a robot that we don't know yet?
Hide this. A little Naomi Klein, a touch of Margaret Atwood, some Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, so get started. She's also into spicy foods, stand-up comedy, and fourth-wave feminism. What? I read her file.
Mm-hmm.
I asked around at school.
It's just a study date.
Seance, dog. Cool. You mind if I borrow it? I mean, just to show you that I'm interested.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
When the world needs you, you answer your goddamn phone. Don't worry, she hasn't flushed yet.
Oh,
I don't even
jeez,
work
that
for you.
And you never will.
again,
Unless you show her
creepy,
and decide you wanna be
creepy.
a super-
Eve's gonna be there?
Or did that just sweeten the deal?
A little
No.
bit, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Where?
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore,
Okay.
where the faces are, the faces of the
What state is
American dudes.
What do they
Yeah.
teach you kids in school these days?
I wouldn't be asking for your help, but Omni-Man is dealing with a kaiju 10 time zones away.
kaiju?
Guardians are a shit
Jesus.
show.
He made himself a pair of earthquake gloves.
What's he want?
Doc
Even he hasn't
Seismic.
seen it now.
So like Quake, but a crazy supervillain dude. Okay. And he's also not inhuman, so he just literally built himself a pair of Quake gloves. Yeah, he has gauntlets. He has gauntlets.
They were oppressors, racists, slave owners.
I think I actually kind of knew that much already. It's like former presidents who are really kind of overall dodgy dudes. Yeah. He's breaking down Mount Rushmore. He's earthquaking Mount Rushmore. Talk about sticking it to the man.
Those aren't gloves. Gloves have fingers. They're more,
gauntlets.
earthquake bracelets.
Gauntlets.
You're wearing earthquake bracelets!
They're called gauntlets. Fuck. Okay.
I mean, look at the costume they've got you in. Talk about pandering to gender roles.
I designed my own costume, and I thought your doctorate was in seismology.
Undergrad in sociology and women's studies. Not enough.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Whoa, okay, he's basically an earthbender. He is essentially an earthbender. He's essentially just like an earthbender. Oh, okay. Oh no, okay. Can he get him? Can he get him? Can he get him? Oh, he's blowing him back. Jesus. So I take it Seismic's gone then.
Wow,
Seismic is... Yeah.
Oh, I see. So, like, none of these sound good, huh? I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, Eve. Thanks.
Wow, ditching her right after the mission. How... Jeez. Oh, Eve needs a friend. Eve needs someone to talk to.
That's the tricky part of the job. Balancing what you want to do with what you need to do. Remember, you're not just a superhero, Mark.
Why did you come? You didn't even know I existed until I stood up to Todd.
For the record, Todd kicked your ass.
For the record, that's absolutely true.
I've had guys throw punches for me before, but you're the first one who stood there and took them. I wanted to know the kind of guy that would do that.
It's big, sir.
The kaiju, yeah, I mean...
Seen Omni-Man on the ropes like that.
Yeah, it's a kaiju. Kaijus are, I think they're expected to be pretty
Also-
big.
Yeah, well, you're not the only badass in this family. I sold a house today that had a double homicide.
Damn, who would buy that? Who would even buy that? Oh, and now Mark's with Eve. Mark's with Amber even. Oh, jeez. Does she really have anywhere to turn?
Good for you, Mark.
Shit.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Pete.
What the hell was that? Who the hell opened it for so someone with control? Someone in the control room actually opened it up. Who? Go for the legs. The shield only covers the top half. Go for the legs. Oh. And they're yeah, it would seem they have someone on the inside. Someone like a mole, maybe. Someone actually working with villains, or at least working with these two. Yeah.
What now?
A gun.
I'm surprised you don't see it. You being the original and all.
Oh! Oh, damn. Oh, it slices right through. Oh. The original just got torn to pieces. Oh.
I'd say I'll miss you, brother, but I can always make another one.
Oh, so the clone survives. The clone survives.
You get my team ready for the deep end yet?
It was a robot. He's the benefactor.
In the progress we've made today.
Robot is the benefactor. Oh my god.
7 dead, 1 alive. Your husband was hoping you could make that piece fit.
Well, you'll have to ask him.
You have a lovely home.
Debbie? You alright?
Is he gone? He's gone. Just like that. Yeah, he's gonna sense that Damien was here. Yeah. Oh damn. Oh god damn. So yeah, okay. So yeah. So we where to start with this? Where to start? I'll start. chronologically, I'll start from the very beginning. So we had two different funerals, and I think it didn't make it. I think it didn't occur to me until Eve actually explained why there's a more private funeral, and then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, it's fucked up, but it still makes sense. So there's a public memorial for the actual public to come and attend, and for the public to pay their respects to the heroes as they knew them, but that's not where the bodies. And I think like a memorial itself is always going to be how the public actually pays respect to the hero, and like how they see them, how they respect them, and like especially like how, you know, like when Superman died, he had a memorial in Metropolis, but then his actual body, because he was Clark Kent, was actually buried somewhere closer and more personal in an actual cemetery where Martha could visit him, and no one really knew about that one. So that was actually like a more permanent one. I think he was buried as Clark Kent too. Like when he was buried, that was a much more personal and like more familiar one, and for people from Smallville to actually remember him as, because they buried him as Clark Kent. But then for the Superman one, they actually had the memorial where, you know, people could actually see Superman and remember all the things that he did and everything. So that was cool. But then she actually mentioned souvenir hunters, as in people who would actually try and dig up the bodies and steal their clothes or their tech or whatever. So I mean, that's just fucked up. I mean, again, it's fucked up. And it's like, you know, I don't exactly know how real Tomb Raiders are in real life. Like, not even like Lara Croft level, but even just like people who literally just you know, like even like, you know, I think, you know, like wherever tombs are in the world, like people who actually try and break into famous people's kind of burials or tombs or whatever, and then actually steal stuff. Like, I don't know how common or how like real that is, but either way, it's a screwed up thing to do. So souvenir hunters, it's just beyond messed up. So. But I think in general though, I think that's just like an added layer of securities. I think even like generally speaking, like, you know, it kind of I think generally speaking, it does make more sense to have the more general public go to like something more public and more accessible to them, like an actual memorial for them. But then for the ones who are like, you know, like Olga, who was Joseph's fiance, and she like for her, that it would make sense for there to be a more personal and more private, more kind of sentimental place for her to actually visit Joseph's grave, without the rest of the public knowing. So yeah, so like an actual public memorial for the public, and then like an actual closer, like an actual gravesite for family and friends and close ones to actually visit. So I think that does definitely make more sense. But yeah, so then we had the burial, and we had Omni-Man giving off that speech at the memorial and talking about how he's defeated alien tyrants and he's fought ancient gods too. I don't know how much of his speech was actually real and how much of it was actually just kind of scripted to please the public. But then him mentioning ancient gods, it kind of made me I'm not gonna lie, it kind of made me question how long he's really been here, because we know that, you know, I think after that speech, I would not be surprised if he's actually spent years longer on Earth than we're expecting. Like, maybe if he's actually been here for literal millennia, but then, you know, because of his age, he can literally do that. Because of his age, he is next to immortal. But then maybe maybe it wasn't until he met Debbie. I mean, maybe he's even had previous loves. Maybe he's even had previous loves that never worked out. So maybe Mark isn't the first of his kind. Maybe he's actually had previous, like, brothers or sisters who actually were like him, who were born the way he was, but then, you know, maybe he kept. I mean, you would then think that if that was the case, then maybe Omni-Man himself would actually try and like drop that, because then he might eventually figure out that maybe his offspring doesn't last, or maybe he keeps losing family members to these threats. So maybe then he would actually. But then even if that was the case, maybe I think on the one hand, maybe he kept on going to actually find a worthy and successful heir to his kind of like mantle or whatever, or maybe he actually was ready to give up, but then he met Debbie and then he swore to protect her and then to protect Mark when he was born. So maybe that was the one, like, you know, I was ready to give up, but then Debbie and Mark came along, and then that was the one that he deemed worth fighting for even harder. So yeah, I don't know, but I think given his speech, I think I feel like it would not be the most surprising thing in the world if he actually has been here for like years on end, and he has literally fought ancient gods, or at least he's fought what kind of people that passed them off as the gods, and then passed themselves off as the gods back in ancient times, and then he's actually fought them, and he's fought many things. I think, Yeah, so yeah. So I feel like maybe that could be like a worthy thing to explore, like seeing it, like if he has been here for longer than we know, then maybe we actually could do like a little backstory episode, or do like a little maybe like a scene in an episode that serves as a bit of exposition for the kind of for the kind of drama to come. So maybe actually showing just exactly what he's been through that's made him so. Because maybe that's also another thing too. Maybe it's like he's been through so much that turns him into such an effective and such an efficient kind of world killer. Like he's actually been through so much. He's defeated so many different beings across time and space, and so because of that he's become more experienced with his powers, and then he's actually but then even mentally maybe he's actually become more brutal and more hardened to the point where he actually ends up killing certain heroes and everything. So yeah, I don't know, maybe just maybe. And then yeah, we had the new Guardians. There are new Guardians. So the Guardians are pretty much like the primary heroes of the universe, like the Avengers. Pretty much like the Avengers. Like they are like an ever growing mantle, like a replaceable thing too. Because with the Guardians gone, like with the original roster gone, it's like it's not like the Guardians are dead now. It's just like the original members are gone. So now Cecil actively gets Robot to actually find new members for him. So then that then makes you wonder, like, War Woman and Immortal and the Martian, and were all those other members actually the original members, or whether were the members that came before them, or what happened? Because I think they were all warriors and great fighters and greatly experienced. I think it's like, sure, they lasted a long time as the Guardians, but then were there ones that came before them, or were they original? Because it would make more sense if they were actually members before them, because then otherwise it would feel more like they came up with like some kind of agreement with Cecil that if anything happens to us, then don't hesitate to replace us and actually come up with new Guardians, because like the world needs Guardians. I think it doesn't matter even if it's not us, but if anything happens to us, then be sure to actually activate like a new protocol to bring in to test and bring in new members as soon as possible. So we have Black Samson, and Black Samson he claimed to have actually been there from the beginning too. He claimed to have actually known and had worked with the Guardians from the beginning. So I think it makes you wonder why we're only seeing him now, like no glimpses beforehand, just like a pretty much like a initial introduction in this episode here. So but then I think Rex mentioned something about him only having a suit. So I don't know if I think he must have powers. Right? I think I can't remember every single hero that we saw in the actual training montage, but I think we must have seen him. I think he does have like some punches and kicks here and there. Like he does have some abilities, but maybe it's exclusive to the suit. Maybe it's the suit that has abilities, and then he harnesses it and he uses it. So I don't know. But either way, we have Black Samson. We have Duplicate. So I think I actually didn't. I didn't actually clock last episode that her name is actually Duplicate, because her real name is Kate and she duplicates. I think I literally just wrote duplicate as in the actual word duplicate. So I think I didn't actually realize that her name was Kate and her superhero name wasn't Duplicate, but also Duplicate. So again, it's not like a hard thing to miss, but me, it's just I'm just oblivious to apparently I'm oblivious to even the simplest of superhero kind of name mock-up. So Duplicate is there. Then we have Monster Girl too. Monster Girl seems very, very interesting. So I think, yeah, I mean, Rex being Rex, he would not kind of miss out on the opportunity to actually punch down on like another member as a way of saying hi. But then with him, but then she fought back. She fought back actually, poking fun at the possibility of him having tiny junk. So she is not a girl who's actually afraid to hit back or talk back or do whatever it takes to, show that she can actually smack back if you try and throw some trash talk her way. So she did, and then she actively hulks out too. I mean, not Incredible hulks out, but I think she actively I think she said like the girl jokes like the girl or like the little kid jokes actually sometimes get too far for her. So then she actually turns, and she literally turns into a big hulking kind of goblin like figure. So she has that going on for her, which is pretty damn cool. But then she also, I think her human form is a woman. Her human form is female. So she so that but then she also gets younger too. So I mean, when she started out, she actually did call herself Monster Woman, but then every time she transforms, I think it's every time she transforms and then back again, you see her getting younger. So I don't know. I'm curious I'm curious as to what the mileage is on that. Though, like if it's like she gets younger by like a month or a few months, or like by like every time she transforms it's like a year. So then if it's a year, then she really has to be careful, because then, I mean, not that she's transforming rapidly here and there, but I think it's basically like almost every couple of days that like a villainous threat comes in, so then she has to fight it. But then even when she does fight it, I think maybe she has to kind of space things out. So maybe she's like, okay, can you guys really handle this? Because I did it yesterday, and if I do it again today, I'm gonna start getting ID'd at the bar if I try and go out for a drink now. So, but yeah, but I think very much like the case of Benjamin Button. So like he starts off like being born. I think he was like born an old man, but then he ages in reverse. So then he actually actively gets younger until it's just really, really weird. So. Yes, but then every time she transforms, so I think I'm curious as to what the mileage is on that. I mean, at this point she's already like a pretty much like a teenage girl, so I think it's not. I think it doesn't really. I think like so then how much longer can she be on the team before she actually kind of ages into like a baby or something? So then her monster form retains the strength, appearance, and its actual kind of size. So like so it's not like she starts off as an adult monster, but then she also like her monster kind of appearance and her monster physique has been maintained to be that of like an actual big brutish monster. So it's not like she transforms into a woman, then into a monster, then into a girl, then into a monster. But it's like her human form ages in kind of in reverse, but then her monster form always stays the same. So I think I do want. I mean, at this point she's already a teenage girl. So then I do wonder, even if she does kind of start regressing, like continue regressing back to like the age of 5 or 4 or 3, can she then still be on the team? Because then she's still able to transform into an actual monster capable of dealing damage, or would that mean that they have to take her off? I'm not sure. I'm curious, but yeah, and then I think the even kind of sadly, I mean, the even more depressing thing she mentioned being like, she couldn't even actually like dating is even harder being a monster girl, because then I think she mentioned that it was hard, it was hard enough actually trying to find people who could deal with the actual monster thing, but then also so like some of her dates ended up being on sex offender registries and stuff. So I think it's a very, very sad and dark truth to have to come to terms with, the fact that I think on the one hand you got people who might not be able to deal with the fact that you turn into a monster whenever you're stressed out or you're thing like that, but then when you turn it, but then also the fact that your aging works in reverse too. So then once you transform back into human form, then you have to worry about the fact that if your date is actually going to be deterred by the fact that you're like a young girl, or if they're going to be even more attracted to that for whatever reason. Like, no reason would be good, but still, for whatever reason. So yeah, that cannot be. I don't know which one would be easier to deal with. The fact that like some of your dates are deterred by that. I think that one's more. I mean, that one you can expect. I don't think anyone would actually go out with someone expecting them to be some kind of a sex offender. Be it for age appropriate people or for people younger than them, like for minors. But I don't know. Either way, it's I think Monster Girl is a character I am kind of curious to actually understand more of how her powers work and how the aging just how quickly the aging works, and I think how it might impact her going forward. I mean, I don't think it should impact it too much. I think because I don't think there would. I don't think Robot. Yes, Robot picks the team, but I do wonder if Cecil actually does have any kind of final kind of confirmations. I think he picks the. I think because I feel like it would be more accurate if he picks the team members he thinks would be suitable, and then Cecil being the ultimate kind of leader of the GDA and being the one in collaboration with with the new Guardians. I feel like Cecil would probably have to go with the final actual confirmation. So. Or maybe with this being a special case then, because then the Guardians were killed in rapid succession, so I think maybe in this case he's kind of too focused on the Guardians' deaths, and then he kind of leaves the majority Guardian, like new Guardian handpicking to Robot himself. So I do not know, but either way, I feel like, like, I think maybe Robot wouldn't actually pick someone who isn't a suitable candidate for the team. But then I think this episode definitely showed us a lot more to Robot. I think at least it showed me a lot more to Robot that I was kind of not really ready to fully kind of see. So I don't know. There's a lot more to Robot that meets the eye, and I feel like this Monster Girl thing could be one of them. And even that kind of conversation he had with Monster Girl at the end too, at the end of the kind of team meeting, like he actually told her, like, people look at you and see one thing without seeing what's truly underneath. I think I'm wondering what his secret could be in that case, like if there actually is a person under there, or maybe if he's like a really, maybe if he's gonna be like Ultron, maybe he's gonna end up being like Ultron, like he is like a super advanced AI, but then he actually does have his own agenda that he's trying to enforce on the world and on the GDA and on the team and everything. So maybe is not on everyone's side. Maybe he's on his own side, or maybe he's on the villain side secretly, or maybe he's just trying to, maybe he is like Ultron in the sense that he's actually releasing the villains to actually get them to fight to fight the heroes. Like maybe he's trying to increase the rate at which heroes v villains battles happen, and then afterwards he takes control of the Earth for himself. So he's actually, like the heroes and villains are maybe just kind of like pawns in his little game, and then at the end he takes like a battle worn Earth for his own picking, and then he actually tries to take it for himself. So I don't know. And then we also have Shrinking Ray too. So she can like minimize herself down to the point where she can actually enter the person's body and cause all sorts of bodily kind of disruptions, like making the guy actually puke and then jump out there. So Shrinking Ray, she's cool. And also a hero with glasses. I don't know why I feel so not even like validated, just maybe like an inkling of validation, but also just like just actually seeing like a hero who wears glasses for a change it's just somewhat uplifting. I'm not gonna lie, it's somewhat uplifting seeing so many. I mean Goggles is also cool. I think goggles would maybe be more practical, maybe more ideal. Like goggles, like reinforced goggles, maybe that don't get damaged as easily, and also goggles that actually come with little HUDs and stuff, like goggles in the mask or goggles that you actually wrap around your head, and you can do that. But then like a hero with actual glasses, I don't know why, it's just so uplifting to see. Like, oh, someone who actually maintains some aspect of humanization with their gear and their actual. And their headpiece and everything, and it's an actual pair of glasses too. Like she takes it off and cleans it in like in the actual team meeting, and then she puts it back on. So not even maybe to some aspect reinforced, but even just for daily use. So it's like actual even in her day-to-day life, she doesn't actively accidentally push it off the table and step on it or something. So then it's actively maybe stronger that way. But even then, it's actual glasses and not part of some kind of elaborate superhero costuming thing. But seeing a hero with glasses is actively so much cooler and just so much more uplifting than anything else. But I'm very excited to see her in more action and seeing how she performs and who she is. But that took me by surprise too. Seeing her wearing actual glasses took me by surprise, because then I think again, on the other hand, you would think like why not maybe opt for goggles or maybe something more stable or more secure. But then if glasses work for her, then they work for her. And I think, hey, if she wants to wear glasses and actually maintain that aspect of her own personal life, then all the more power, and I think, and also because of her ability to shrink, she can easily dodge attacks by shrinking, and then still kind of see clearly enough, and then the glasses and everything she wears shrinks with her. So the glasses, I think in that case, the glasses must be, or I think maybe, or I wonder, I think, because then I think that then calls into question, is like if she shrinks in her regular clothes, do her clothes stay the same size, or do they shrink with her? Because then if it's like a bodily, like if it's like an actual bodily thing, then maybe the suit she wears was designed by Mark Hamill's character, and then she actually does shrink them. So then maybe he actually did. Maybe he designed glasses that she can even use in real life, but then she can like still shrink with the glasses. So then it's not like her glasses get bigger and leave her behind. As she shrinks. But either way, superhero with glasses, always cool, always awesome, always cool and awesome, and just super duper cool. So that's fun, that's very fun. But Shrinking Ray, definitely looking forward to seeing more of her. And yeah, then we had Rex. Rex being a scumbag. Rex being a piece of absolute crap, an unfaithful little bastard. He cheated on Amber, not Amber, no, not on Amber, on Eve with Duplicate. Not with Duplicate, multiple Kates with Duplicate. So it's like, they're like, I think they were like, I think the Prime. Was it the Prime that Eve actually talked to in the outside the lockers? Was it, that must have been Prime? Because I vaguely remember there were definitely multiple Kates that actually walked out of the shower. But then I can't remember if that was two. I can't remember if that was three or if that was actually two paired with the one that came out. I think it might have been three. So I think the Prime must have been, yeah, because I think he even specified later on that it's not even the real Kates, and then they're like, we're all the real Kates, and we're all the real Kates. Then he cheated with the duplicates, but then the Prime one was out doing God knows what else. So then I think even worse was that he then jumped to the conclusion too. He then assumed that because of how talkative and how interactive that Mark and Eve were being with each other as Invincible and Adam Eve, then he assumed she must have dropped me and then gone to him then. So then he just kind of rebounds straight onto the next hero, who is then Duplicate, and especially with her power too. Is it's not exactly hard to try and think about exactly what Rex would have wanted, and especially in the showers too. So I think what helps even more is that I think it's like Jason Mantzoukas has has that kind of voice, like not to insult him, like he the actor himself is a great guy. He's done a great job, and he himself must be a nice guy, and he's played like nice enough guys in other shows too, like nice enough, but then his voice and his tone and his delivery really sells him as just an absolute arsehole. So props to him for actually delivering as he was supposed to. But then his voice and his delivery of the lines and the way he says things and the way he tries to justify it and everything is just really on point. But yeah, I mean, goes without saying, Eve deserves better. Atom Eve, she deserves much better than Rex. And I think by the time, I think deep down, I think she needs a friend. She needs a friend, because then she even actually kind of tried to fly over to Mark's house to try and talk to him, but then she caught him making out with Amber. So then I think she needs a friend. She needs a friend more than anything else, like a friend who will tell her that she deserves better than him, or maybe just to actually kind of convince her to actually figure herself out for a while and figure out what she wants before finding someone else, and then, or just deciding what to do next in general. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, just fuck Rex. I would say fuck Rex, but I think apparently, Duplicate did that already multiple times with multiple versions of herself. So I mean, not to shame Duplicate. She, I think even she likely, or even her duplicates didn't really know what was going on, but just had Rex coming on to them, and because then that was one of but then I think, I think one of them actually mentioned that Rex actually told them that Eve was actually with Mark now. So then she's like, okay, if she's with him, then I guess this actually kind of makes things okay then. So then and then it was actually him jumping to that conclusion and then actually rebounding. So yeah, so Duplicate is not to shame here. Duplicate is not to blame. It's all Rex. Rex is the dodgy motherfucker who just can't keep his teeny weeny dick in his pants. Everything. So yeah, Rex. He's got the coins, but he doesn't have the wallet to keep it in. He just can't help but blow out his coins. He can't help but blow out his coins. He doesn't have the wallet. He doesn't have the wallet to keep it. He can't even keep it on his belt. He has a belt to keep his coins, but he can't even hold them on there. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know exactly where I was going with that innuendo, but I just thought, coins, wallet. I'll make it work. But yeah, and Rex is a part of the team. So I think Eve actively kind of didn't really want to be part of the team. Really, like for one thing, I think she becoming a new Guardian was not exactly on her bucket list, but also having to be on a team with a teammate and a boyfriend who cheated on her with each other wasn't exactly something she was comfortable with either. So I think she kind of bid Rex kind of good luck with the team at the end, and then just kind of flew off. So yeah, poor Eve. I think I'm hoping she does kind of find some sense of solitude in the coming episodes, and I think, again, even if she doesn't end up with someone, I'm hoping she actually does kind of find inner peace with herself. I'm hoping at the most part she does kind of find inner peace with herself, and hey, maybe what she needs is a girlfriend. Maybe what she really needs, because then Rex, cheating scumbag, Mark happy with Amber. Well, supposedly we've only seen them making out so far, so we don't know for sure if they are relationship material. But then I think, again, even Cecil kind of pointed out that okay, the superhero story goes that way. You got to be willing to drop things at a moment's notice, but then also actually running out on the girl of your dreams too. So maybe that's like a whole thing for him. But then, I mean, if Eve, maybe she needs a girlfriend. Maybe that's what she needs. So again, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what she's into? Who knows who she's into? But either that or just solitude. So some inner peace by the end of the season, and actually, bettering herself as a person, or actually discovering more about herself as a person. Maybe that could be it. Maybe if she actually does introduce her to William. William could be a great friend, or William could be a great friend for her, and I feel like he would be the kind of guy to actually give some really awesome pep talks on self-discovery and actually taking time to figure out herself, and then maybe she does end up figuring out more than she realizes. So yeah, and then or even then, like, maybe he actually does actively encourage just kind of spending time with herself and actually trying to, be her own hero. Especially because she's not in the team anymore. So and the team is pretty much split, and they've moved on now to the Guardians. So yeah, so maybe Eve just needs some time to herself, and then maybe afterwards she can actually, find someone new. So either way, I am very I'm eagerly looking forward to seeing, like, where her journey takes her, and who she becomes next, and what she faces, and how she, rises out of the ashes like a new atomic phoenix and everything. So it should be fun. But fuck Rex. Fuck him. Just screw him. I hope a coin blows up in his face one day. So yeah. But yeah, that was Rex and Eve. So yeah, and then speaking of Mark and Amber, they had a date. I feel like they had the most cliched superhero date in kind of superhero television, like obviously, like, him inviting her over and introducing her to comic. Not so much that part, but then him inviting her over and then them trying to have a date. But then of course Cecil just kind of snowballing in with the new kind of hero mission, and then him leaving for an hour to fight a freaking mad scientist and everything, and then coming back, and then I think he still saved it. He still managed to save it, and very clearly so, because then they ended up making out on his bed. So that much worked out in the end, but other than that, I think it felt like a pretty kind of cliched kind of superhero date, and especially for their first date too. For their first date, it seemed like less than ideal, and it could have gone any other way too. But then because it's Mark, and because he kind of makes Amber question why she came in the first place, and then they get to talking again. Once they actually get talking, then things start sailing smooth. And I think Amber, maybe genuinely likes him, or at least I think at the very least, she is interested, but she's also curious. She's like she even said herself, like many guys have, thrown punches for her, but then Mark is the same one. Mark is the one who actually takes one and just keeps taking it for her and stuff and things like that. So then that got her curious, and also I think she genuinely sees Mark as like the kind of guy who actually just he stood up to Todd because Todd was being an asshole, but then he found out it was also Amber, so he has a crush on her, and he tried to kind of chivalry his way through their first kind of meeting, and then Amber comes in. I think I will honestly never forget that little kickback from her, where she comes in from behind and just does a swift shin kick to Todd's bollocks, and then that. I think that is the ultimate comeback. That is the ultimate comeback. Like a little bit of distraction, like a bit of distraction from Mark pre-powers, and then a swift kind of death from behind from Amber. That is the ultimate power move. So I'll never forget that moment from the first episode. So yeah, but then it all leads into episode 3 with their first date, and it goes well enough. And then I think it's like some mutual attraction, and like some mutual kind of connections from both sides too. Like Amber being interested in in Margaret Atwood, and a bunch of other authors, and like fourth wave feminism, and being this kind of upfront, and being this kind of like socially aware, and but being that kind of I guess being like that kind of a character too, like being aware of the world, and being that kind of and I think in that sense too, being polar opposites to Todd. Like again, Todd is interested in her because she's popular, she's a girl, she's attractive in that sense. But then with Amber, she's actually interested in someone who's actually who's actually interested in being a person opposed to actually just being in like a relationship for the high school to hear about. So, and then Mark comes along and he's actually somewhat willing, and he's actually, he's similar-ish, and I think he also is now a big part of the world around them too, like him being invincible, I feel like the whole kind of superhero cliche stuff is going to be like a driving force, but in like an entertaining way too. Because because again, like this isn't really being painted as your typical like similar to the boys. Similar to the boys, this show isn't really being painted as your typical superhero kind of show or story. So I feel like the cliche may help drive things forward, but then, or at least the cliche could be the ignition key to turning the story on. But then what drives it forward is actually how they progress, like what kind of people they are with each other and when they're apart, and then how their chemistry kind of ignites when they're together and all that kind of stuff. So because of that, I'm curious to see where their relationship actually goes and if things actually go forward and how it all goes down. So it should be fun. It should very much be fun. So that was their first date. And then we met Doc Seismic. That was the villain that Cecil had sent out Invincible and Atom Eve to go out and fight. So Doc Seismic, he is a mad scientist. He is a mad scientist with I think like a doctorate in seismology. So he actually did live up to the name, and he had gauntlets. So I think he's essentially, if Quake was a like male mad scientist supervillain who just like who also experienced some backlash. I mean, with Quake, I think she has experienced some backlash. She I think especially in like throughout season throughout the beginning of season 4, like her thing is actually her facing backlash from powers through injuries and through taking on too much as well, like the tremors in Los Angeles when she actually had to release them. So I think she has faced some backlash, but with her power is also innate. Her power is actually biological. So, but then I think with Seismic here, his powers definitely seem a lot more technological. Like it's all in the gauntlets, and it's all powers he's created for himself. So that's why he has even less kind of tolerance towards it, because his body is not meant to actually produce or intake any seismic kind of like waves or energy of any kind in any amount. So because of that, like every time I think they said every time he uses powers, he gets like a concussion. So that happened. So he had like a whole suit, and he also went after Mount Rushmore. So I think my initial knowledge, my initial kind of instinctive knowledge was that it's that American cliff side thing with the American dudes' faces on. Like it's as much as I can actually remember on the spot. But then they actually showed them, and then he actually started to talk about how they were like slave owners and racists and overall just really scummy pieces of shit. And then I was like, oh wait, are they not meant to be like former presidents who were somehow like somewhat like monumental towards American history or something? So I think that then started to make more sense. I think they were like iconic dudes in the eyes of older kind of more badder American people. So good in their eyes because of older ideologies and stuff. Like I mean, ideologies that are technically mostly still alive today, but still like older in the more iconic in the eyes of ideologies that were strongest back then. And then because of what they did and because of what they did being seen as good, they were then actually carved into mountains and actually given memorials to remember them by. I think it's still kind of I think because of what it was, I actually don't know why it's still important today. Like if that's what the truth behind it is, I'm not really sure. I mean, that's a whole other topic. That's a whole other topic to get into, which I'm not sure is fit for this kind of video or fit for and again, I mean, I'm sure there are other videos by other people who've actually explored like whether or not Mount Rushmore should be kept up and what the actual truth and what the actual kind of iconography behind it really is, or the symbolism rather. So I'm sure there are many more accurate sources you can go to for that, because I mean, I don't even know who the I can't remember. I think I have read it in several different places. I think I do kind of know the faces, but I think I genuinely can't remember what the faces are or like who is meant to be on Mount Rushmore. So again, my knowledge on Rushmore and its history is very, very limited. So forgive me for that. But yeah, either way, I think the instinctive knowledge I had was the cliff with the faces of old American dudes, and it's like, oh yeah, and then this is the deeper symbolism behind it, and then even Seismic being like, this is not something you should be supporting or standing for. So then let's just bring it crashing down on everyone. I think that mentality feels like a grey area, but then the fact that he's actually bringing it down on innocent people is what's unarguably more villainous and what needs to be prevented. Like, okay, for one thing, I mean, legally speaking, he is still damaging very, very kind of very private / public kind of very, very kind of, I don't know if sacred is the right word here, but very, very kind of private property. Like, like people. I think you can go and visit Mount Rushmore and still kind of see it and take pictures. But I don't think anyone's actually allowed to climb on it or actually like jump all over the faces or anything like that. So I think it's still kind of private property in that sense, and it's also like an American kind of landmark too. So because of that, there's like no way you can actually damage it or bring it down. And again, it's seen as a monument, so there's that kind of value to it. So yeah, but either way, he wanted to make a point and bring down Mount Rushmore, which then Invincible and Atom Eve had to put an immediate stop to, because again, he was also like actively in the process of actually harming innocent people who did not deserve to pay for the crimes of whoever the fuck is on Mount Rushmore. So that was that whole thing. And then I think he can also travel with them too. He can also travel with them, which we've seen Quake do. She can actually unleash blasts and start flying in the air. So I mean, it goes without saying, I am miles more in leagues with what Quake stands for, because Quake is an actual hero. Quake is an actual hero who stands for everyone, human or inhuman, no matter race, gender, sexual orientation, like whatever, whoever you are, she stands with you, she stands for you. But then Dr. Seismic is someone who is very much like you're either with me or against me, and you really shouldn't be against me, because think about what I'm trying to fight for here. I'm trying to show you the real evils behind American history and everything. So yeah, but either way, that was his mission, and then they had to stop him, so they did. And then I was kind of curious as to whether or not they'd actually keep Dr. Seismic around, but then with him, I felt like he maybe partially even wanted to die, or at least he didn't want to die, but then he also didn't want Invincible. He didn't want to allow himself. He refused to allow himself to be saved by a hero, so he didn't want Invincible to save him. So that's why he unleashed one final Quake blast before he fell into the lava, and then I think he even unleashed one more blast that brought the lava back up, but then he was killed by it whilst Eve and Invincible managed to save themselves. So then he was toast. He died. So he died because he was too stubborn to be saved by a hero, and then maybe even be indebted to Invincible in that way. So yeah, Dr. Seismic, that was him. And also that little kind of side note of him kind of like mentioning how they should be with him, or at least for like, because he was directly fighting Eve. Like he was like, oh, you should be siding with me. Like just look at how what kind of costume they put you in, forcing you into gender roles and all that kind of stuff. And then her being like, I am kind of comfortable in this suit because A, I designed it, and B, this is how I like to look, and this is how I want to look as a hero, so I'm completely fine with it. And then he was like, and then Seismic is revealed. I think he said like he had a minor in one thing, which I think like a minor in, he had like other degrees or other qualifications in in women's studies and gender studies, or social studies and women's studies, or something like in like more progressive subjects. And then like a minor in something, I can't remember what the minor was in, but he had like a minor in something else. And then it's just like it feels like a weird thing to add in, but then it's like, because he's a villain. I feel like I think it's like easier to pass him off as a villain because of what, like the damage he was doing and like how extreme his methods were. But then also I think it's like an unintentional way of trying to grey area him with all of his, with what his true mentality is and all the other things he agrees with. So then he actually would happily fight with you, because then he's like, you're a woman, like women can be just as strong as men, and I believe in the power you have and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure like if that was actually just like a little side thing for them to add in there just for the sake of it, or maybe it's like an actual, because I think they killed him off in the end anyway. So it's like it's like that much less. Like I don't really think we're meant to sympathize or meant to kind of feel bad for him anyway. But then it's like it definitely feels like something they add in just for like irony's sake or just for humor's sake or whatever. So it doesn't really feel like anything to take seriously, but. Yeah, I don't know. And then yeah, while they were fighting him, Cecil said that he would have called Omni-Man in to do this one, but then he was busy fighting a kaiju. He was busy fighting a kaiju in like a different time zone. So they have kaijus. They have kaijus. So I won't lie. I feel like I need to look up the definition of kaiju just to kind of remind myself, because I think Godzilla would count as a kaiju, right? Because I think even the one that he fought, even the one that the Omni-Man fought, actually was like a giant lizard creature and everything, or at least it looked like a giant lizard creature, or like a fish creature, or like a reptilian creature of some kind. So I'm like 70 to 80% sure that a kaiju would count as something like Godzilla, maybe. So yeah, because I think Godzilla is the original kaiju, like Godzilla being like an older kind of, I think he is like an older Japanese legend or Japanese folk tale that was then turned into like a giant cinematic icon, like a monster icon. I'm pretty sure that is like a kaiju. So yeah, so he was essentially fighting Godzilla. He was essentially fighting Godzilla another time. So he even brought home like a chunk of tail, or like a chunk of like a body part or something to apparently to cook. And I don't know if you could eat that and survive at the end. I don't know if eating that would actually change it in any way. But either way, he brought home like a souvenir of that battle. And then even more interesting, Cecil actually wants to keep the kaiju because Donald confirmed that it actually wasn't completely dead. So then he's like, oh, okay, in that case, put it on ice. It could actually come in handy someday. So I think he actually just maybe keeps like not not completely dead kind of leftovers from hero battle. I don't know if he does it for all the heroes, or maybe if this is just one of the few examples. Because I feel like with Omni-Man, he doesn't have to worry about killing unless he has to. I think again, the Guardians thing is a whole different story. But then in general, he's so powerful that he genuinely can walk away without killing it, so long as he subdues it and then incapacitates it. So then maybe it's exclusive to Omni-Man. If any of his enemies survive, but then they're too dead to fight back, then keep them on ice, and we can actually use them in the future for whatever. So they have a kaiju. They have a kaiju on ice now. So that will surely come in handy in some way. And then I think on the way back, once he finished the fight and got back home, Nolan gave him an interesting talk that kind of ticked me off, him telling him that he's not just a superhero, he's a Viltrum, or he's not just. I think he's. Was it superhero? He said. I think he said you're not just something. I think it might have been you're not just a superhero. You're a Viltrumite. So I think he Viltrumite culture. I think is what's ingrained in Nolan, and that's what he values over kind of human culture. And I think he did kind of give us a glimpse at Viltrumite culture in the first episode. So he made sure to emphasize that. So then that makes me wonder where Nolan's allegiance truly lies. If he actually does believe in the future of mankind and the future of Earth, and if he does believe in protecting Earth, or if he actually values whatever his Viltrumite kind of goal is. Because I think he did say he left of age from Viltrum, and then he actually his goal then was actually to pick a planet to become the sole protector of. So then. And also the sole protector too. So I think that's an interesting thing to catch on to too. So then he can't be the sole protector of Earth if there are other heroes out there. So then maybe that's also another reason that the Guardians death happens to them. So then he maybe deep down he actually was willing to work with them, but then again he values and takes pride in the Viltrumite culture ingrained in him. So then maybe he sticks to that, he adheres to that glue. So then maybe he's sorry guys, but I'm the sole protector of this planet, and I mean the sole protector. So then there can only ever be one hero. So then. He took out the original Guardian, so then what's to say that he won't break or snap again and take out the new Guardians too? So then he might the last straw, the only one then came because Mark is also part of Ultramite. Then maybe he might be the only one who actually has a fighting chance of standing up to Omni-Man. So then I think. Even regardless, I think I can definitely kind of still picture that kind of fight coming in the end, like Mark versus his own father. He then discovers exactly what his father is, what he's capable of, what he's done before. So he figures out that the only way to actually stop him is to take him out. So then he maybe tries with the rest of the team, but then the rest of the team don't really kind of get as far. But then Mark is the only one who actually stands a chance, and even then. I don't know. I feel like he might still, because he's only part Viltrumite too. So then, maybe he then might be still be susceptible to taking more damage. But then he might be the one key to actually trying to bring his father down. So yeah, but then that kind of speech you gave him that, you know, like as a Viltrumite, he has a responsibility that normal humans don't. So maybe that's like, you know, oh, you're part human, but then you're also part Viltrumite, and believe me, that Viltrumite part of you is more advanced, more important, and more lasting than the human part of you will ever be. So then you need to make a choice as to whether you stand with as to whether you stand with Earth or whether you stand with Viltrum. So then maybe it's like an ego thing, like Ego from Guardians, like with Ego, like he had the whole thing where he was going to inseminate the entire universe. Like he traveled from planet to planet, planting his seed along the way. So like literally planting his seed in the earth along the way. So then eventually he try and take over every planet and make every planet in the universe an essence of him. So maybe with Viltrum it's a similar thing. So maybe they raise and train Viltrumites who become heroes to go out to planets to not just become the protectors, but then to also actually become the leaders of those worlds. So then they then try and expand their reach to other planets too. So then maybe they try and turn all the planets out there into copies of Viltrum or to versions of Viltrum, or maybe to actually try and actually take control of other planets too. So then maybe that could be another thing too. Like if you go to those other planets, then don't get too attached, don't get too kind of, you know, attached or to romanticize with those planets. Like remember, you have a job to start off as a protector, but then to actually try and eventually take over the world and actually try and become a Viltrumite leader of that world and do whatever needs to be done. So I don't know, but I am all the more curious as to what Nolan's true goal and what his true agenda is. So yeah. And then, yeah, like I said, Robot has some other plans. Robot likely has some deeper Ultron-style AI plans. So he released the Clone Twins. And you know, I think he released them, but then I think he also did intentionally kill one of them too, because then it was the original died too. The original actually couldn't really figure out what to do against the gun that literally slices through you. So I mean, he ran towards it initially, and then actually took out his arm, and then the double, the actual clone, actually picked him up and used him as like a human shield, and it just tore off chunks at a time, like from the head into the torso and the arms and everything. Like he was left looking essentially like Stormfront at the end of The Boys season 2, just, you know, barely alive and just bleeding out and, you know, burnt to bits and everything. So. And then and then even the clone leaving, saying, you know, like oh, I can always make more of you. So the clone will then clone himself. So then I think even cloning like that as a process just seems really kind of like it seems like even it has its own limitations. Because then if you make multiple clones from the original, then they can all be near enough the same. But then if you clone the clone, it's like, you know, it kind of reminds me of like a Ship of Theseus thing. Because then if you clone the clone. But then, yeah, because then if you clone the clone, then there's that much less of the original in there. So then it's like, then you don't even have a copy of the original, you have a copy of the copy. So then, how much can you copy and paste before you kind of get down to a part that's like, because then it's like, I don't know if it really, I mean, it wasn't, because I think him mentioning, like the original mentioning that his intellect wasn't as diluted, was just him being smart, because then he just kind of caught wind at the right time to, you know, to try and to take out the guard and then use his hand for the scan thing. So then, but then I think I can't, because I think cloning in itself, I think, you know, it's creating a double, but then how efficient is the double? How effective is the double compared to the original? Because then you're copy and pasting the DNA and the cells and everything, but then I don't know, cloning from the clone seems a lot less efficient than cloning from the original. So then. Yeah, but then I mean, to be fair, we don't know how far the clone might go or how far he might get with cloning himself, like from the double's DNA. So I think we don't know if the clone he comes up with or if the clones he comes up with might be equally as efficient as him. So I don't know, but either way, Robot is the one who released him. So I think Robot, I don't know, I think I'm getting Ultron vibes from him, where he actually wants to set the heroes and villains against each other in like a typical kind of heroes v villains fight, but then he maybe takes out whoever's left, and then he uses that kind of leftover space within that kind of power vacuum as a way to take control of the Earth and actually try and take stuff for himself. Or maybe he's like, you know, maybe it's like a test. Maybe this is the test that puts the Guardians through their paces. I think, because then again, I almost forgot to mention the clones who we saw the Guardians fighting in the opening, like the opening scene of episode 1. We saw the clones actually trying to attack the White House or whatever it was, and then the Guardians came through from the skies and they took the clones out. So maybe because the clones were the ones that the Guardians defeated and actually locked up in the first place, maybe the clones are the key to bringing this new team together. So maybe it really is a test. So then he releases the clones only to actually pull the team together and to actually to really reinforce the new Guardians as an official team this time. So maybe that could be it. So I think I feel like it could be. I feel like that one could be more efficient, because I think having Robot be a villain, I feel like would be interesting, but maybe too easy. Like maybe it's like spoil like plot twist, like Robot is secretly evil, but then how evil is the question we need to answer. But then maybe like especially given that I think it makes more sense, especially given that the team hasn't really had a training session yet, and they had like a very, very rocky kind of introduction to begin with. So maybe this could be what really brings them together. Maybe like a test, or like maybe like a. I think maybe more like a test. Like, oh, there are, because maybe like given that we have kaijus, then clearly there's actually more powerful and more dangerous villains and threats out there. So then maybe the clones, people who have been taken out by the Guardians before, maybe they could be the ultimate test to actually see if these Guardians can actually come together in the world's time of need and do what needs to be done. So yeah, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly where that leads us. So yeah. And we had some more stuff about Dark Blood too. We had some more kind of history behind Dark Blood. He is a demon and he is from hell, but then he also, I feel like he has like a similar-ish kind of backstory and character profile to John Constantine. Like Constantine, Constantine kind of like he did it, like initially live his whole life in like accordance to what he thought was going to happen, which was him, like his soul being damned to hell. So then he tried to do as much good as he could on Earth before he died and got sent to hell. But with Damien, it's like he's actively working to stay out of hell. So then the more justice he serves, the more cases he solves, the more innocence he actually kind of gets justice for. Then like that means he earns more years out of hell. So then he's actively trying to fight to stay out of hell and to keep this thing going. But then he also deep down he does believe in justice. He does believe in innocence actually getting their closure, and especially like Olga and any other humans who were left behind in the wake of the Guardian's death, like her getting closure, like the other kind of friends and families getting closure. So he believes in justice being served and all that kind of stuff. But I think him actually having some kind of a clock that he can actually add time on his life actually kind of does add like an interesting bit of perspective as to who he is and why he does and to why he really does this. But then also it kind of adds that kind of sense of destination to his character, almost like to see exactly what his journey back to hell might be just because he does all of this. So yeah, that stuff seems cool too. But yeah, that is it. That is pretty much all I've got from this episode. So it was a fun one. It was a very fun one. And can't wait to see exactly what could be waiting even further for us in store in the future of the show. So I can't wait to see exactly how this new team comes together and actually properly meeting them this time. Because I think with this one, like not only were the kind of individual introductions brief, but also their kind of team introduction was very, very rocky with some drama and tension and stuff going on. So hopefully the future of this team looks a bit brighter and looks a bit more cooperative and everything. So all in good time. And hopefully Dark Blood gets the clues and the information he needs to actually accurately solve this crime and seeing what goes on. So it should all be fun. It should all be fun to see. And hopefully Eve gets some closure and Eve gets a chance to explore herself and actually see what she wants, and hopefully her and William maybe connect. And because she does still go to school. She does still go to the same school as William and Mark, so it wouldn't be impossible for them to actually run into each other and for them to start talking. So hopefully we get good things for most, if not all of the characters, or at least we get good things for the characters who deserve it. So for all of them, we get some good closure and some good futures and good journeys ahead of them. So yeah, all in good time. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got. So that was Invincible, Season 1, Episode 3. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this episode, for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Invincible. Once again, the full-length reaction will be available on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.